Dearest Utah Theatre patron, did you miss me? Next up for consideration is Legally Blonde, presented by West Valley Arts. This patron found herself absolutely delighted at the production before her. This was truly a wonderful musical with memorable tunes, tremendous design, and outstanding talent. Indeed, it was so enjoyable that I purchased tickets for another night just to see the show again. There are some minor exceptions to this appraisal, but overall, it was truly a gratifying experience. The word that encapsulates this production is talent. The executive director introduced the show in a rather bizarre way. He individually identified and pointed out the production staff first, and then rambled for another 5 minutes about various tangential subjects. He then ended the speech by saying this play was so fetch. This patron found it disappointing that the executive director of the playhouse did not know the difference between the show about to be performed and Mean Girls, which is actually where the phrase so fetch comes from. Now, on to the show. This patron was completely awestruck at the talent on stage, from the lead character, Elle Woods, to the UPS guy, more on him later. There was not one performance that was out of place. What a treat it is to see that level of effort and competence acutely presented before a live audience. And although Elle and Emmett gave commanding performances as the two individual leads, this patron was slightly frustrated that the chemistry between them was a bit lacking. The production design was wonderful and fully immersed the patron into the world of Harvard Law School in the early aughts. The choreography was well done, and it was a delight to see that talent in dancing. The use of jump ropes was even included in one dance number, which was quite impressive. One caveat to this is the staging. During some larger numbers, the prepared blocking had many members of the cast playing to only one side of the theatre. This patron believes that more could have been done in regards to blocking, since the theatre is in a round. This would have allowed all audience members to see the production in full, and not simply surmise the content unseen. Having said that, many of the musical numbers were outstanding. Some that were noteworthy included What You Want, Positive, and the titular number in the second act, Legally Blonde. As I sat down to write my review for this show, I realised I had very little jotted down. This patron was so enraptured by the narrative and the high-calibre presentation, I forgot to continue to take notes. Talent, indeed. From a technical aspect, the show shined as well. The lighting design, props and set pieces were delightful. However, there were a few minor mishaps throughout, including an issue with a microphone early on that was quickly remedied. All live theatre has mishaps. The true test is to have the talent to respond to it in the moment. One mishap occurred when a wig fell off in the middle of a large musical number. The actor picked it up and danced with it in his hand the rest of the song. This proved to be quite distracting for this patron, and I had trouble enjoying the rest of the number. Overall, while not horrible, the wigs were the weak spot in the show. Professor Callahan's wig was quite terrible, and even though the actor himself was talented and had a great voice, this patron half expected the thing on his head to stand up on its own and walk off stage. One last note should be given on the character of the UPS guy. With his cropped brown shorts, box on shoulder, accentuating his bicep, and employing the strut of a man who knows what he wants, this patron's nether regions were all aquiver. It required a long stroll in the garden to quench the internal passion, and I have been put right. Although I now have an incredible urge to place an order for a UPS delivery. West Valley Arts' production of Legally Blonde is currently playing at West Valley Performing Arts Centre through August 31st. This patron gives the show 4.5 out of 5 cups of tea. I encourage you to seek out this show for yourself and experience the talent and wonder that this theatre troupe has put together. Patrons, I will continue to speak my mind. It is needed. For while those theatres who have been successful in last season's shows look forward to flaunting their perfect, joyous reunions, others shudder at the thought of spending one night before the discerning eyes of this patron. Yours truly, Lady Powderton.